Example 1. One of the major measures of the quality of service provided by an organization is the speed with which it responds to customers' complaints. A large family-held department store selling furniture and flooring, including carpet, had undergone a major expansion in the past several years. In particular, the flooring department had expanded from 2 installation crew to an installation supervisor, a manager, and 15 installation crews. The business objective of the company was to reduce the time between when a complaint is received and when it is resolved. During a recent year, the company received 50 complaints concerning carpet installations. The accompanying data from the 50 complaints represent the number of days between the receipt of a complaint and the resolution of a complaint. Complete Part A through D. So here we have the data sets. The data set, these are numerical variables, and it shows the number of days to resolve the complaint. And we know that there are 50 complaints, so there are 50 numbers here. And in Part A, what we're solving for is the mean, median, first quartile, and third quartile. Part B, we're computing the range, interquartile range, variance, standard deviation, and coefficient of variations. So I'll show you how to do that in Excel right now. So this is the Excel file for example 1. So in column B here, we have the data set. We have the number of days to resolve the complaint, and the data set starts from B12 the way down to B61. So that's our data set, going from B12 to B61. So our first step is to make sure that our sample size is 50. We have the 50 complaints. So what we're going to use to calculate the sample size is equal count in Excel. Highlight the data from B12 to B61, and then we press enter, and then we're going to get to 50. So this confirms that we have a data set of 50. And the formula that we use is equal count, and then we highlight the data from B12 to B61 in Excel. So equal count will give you the sample size. And in the question, we're asked for Part A, we're asked to calculate the mean, median, quartile 1, and quartile 3. So right now, I'll show you how to calculate the mean and median. So mean is your average. So we're going to use the average, equal average formula in Excel, equal average, open bracket, and then we're going to highlight the data from B12 to B61, and then we press enter, and then it will give you the mean, your average number. So your mean is 42 days. So your mean, your average number that we have from here is 42.82. So what that means is that on average, it takes about 42.82 days to resolve the complaint. And that's your mean. Median is your middle number. And the formula that we're going to use is equal median. So equal MEDIAN, open bracket. And then we're going to highlight the data from B12 to B61, press enter, and then we get the median. The median is 27 days. Q1 and Q3, we're going to come back to that later. We're going to solve for Part B first. So in Part B, what we want to calculate is the range, IQR, sample variance, sample standard deviation, the coefficient of variations. So the first thing that we want to calculate is the range. Range is basically your largest number minus your smallest number. So to calculate range, we want to first find out the largest number, and then we will also want to find out the smallest number. Then we subtract these two numbers to get the range. So the formula to calculate the largest number is equal max, open bracket, and then we highlight the data from B12 to B61, press enter, and that gives you the largest number. The largest number is 164. So what that means is that in this data set, the longest number of days to resolve the complaint is 164 days. So equal max, and then we highlight the data set. That's the formula. And then to find out the smallest number, we use equal min, open bracket, and then we highlight the data from B12 to B61, press enter, and then that will give you the 1. So the fastest time it takes to resolve the complaint is 1 day. So equal min for the smallest number, and then equal max for the largest number. Once we have the largest number and smallest number, then we can find the range. Range is just your largest number, so 164 minus your smallest number, which is 1, and then you'll get the 163, so 163 days. And that's our range. Largest number minus smallest number. IQR, we'll come back to that. Sample variance is what we're going to calculate next. To calculate the sample variance, we use the formula equal VAR.S. And how we know this is sample and not population is because when we look at the question, it says that during a recent year, the company received 50 complaints. So the company has been operating for more than 1 year, and this is just 1 year out of all the many years that the company has been operating. So this is just a small sample size of the many years. So that's why the 50 data set is just a sample. So to calculate the sample variance, we use var.s, and same for the sample standard deviation that we're going to calculate is stdev.s for sample. So we're going to do that right now. So equal var.s, open bracket, and then we highlight the data from B12 to B61, and we're going to get the variance equals to 1759. Same for sample standard deviations. So equal stdev.s, open bracket, and then we highlight the data from B12 to B61, and then we're going to get the 41 days. So again, to calculate the variance, equal var.s, and then we highlight the data, and then sample standard deviation is equal stdev.s. Next, we have the coefficient of variation. So coefficient of variation is basically your standard deviations divided by the mean and then times 100. So we have the sample standard deviation, so 41.943 divided by your mean, which is 42.82, and then we times it by 100, and that will give you the coefficient of variation, which is 97.95. So far, you can see that it's fairly easy to calculate the mean, median, variance, standard deviations. So we're using equal average for the mean, equal median to calculate the median, the middle number. And then for the range is just your largest number minus your smallest number. Sample variance is your var.s, that's the formula. Sample standard deviation is stdev.s. And then your coefficient of variation is your standard deviations divided by the mean and then times 100. And that will give you the 97.95. So right now we'll continue with the lecture, and then we'll come back to calculating the Q1, Q3, and IQR later on. So we'll come back to that.